Hello everyone. So today we will be continuing the part 2 of my previous video that was encryption and decryption using prime numbers, which is a chapter from class 11th applied maths. Now in this chapter, in this topic today, we'll be dealing with topics like congruences. The first topic will be congruences. The second topic will be modular exponentiation, then totient function, then RSA algorithm. In the exam, you will be dealing with the questions, numericals based on this RSA algorithm. So before coming to this topic, we have to understand these small topics. Okay, so let's start. The very first topic is congruences. When the term congruence come in our mind, we often memorize, we often remind ourselves that it must be class 9th triangles topic, congruency, right? But it's a different topic. It's a completely different topic. Okay, so let's study the definition first. If a and b are two integers and m is a positive integer such that m is a divisor of a minus b, then a is said to be congruent to b modulo m. Okay, so this went over your head, right? So suppose I take an example here. I take 31 more congruent 7 modulo 4. Now 31 is congruent to 7 modulo 4. Now what do we mean by this is that 31 minus 7 is divisible by 4. You can check this as well. 24 is divisible by 4. So a minus b is said to be congruent to b modulo m. You can see here it is divisible. So it is the general representation here. Suppose I take another example to make it more clear. I take 33 congruent to 9 modulo 6. Now 33 minus 9 will be 24 again. So this will be divisible by 6. So this is congruent to this quantity 9 modulo 6. So that was congruence. Now coming to the next topic, that is modular exponentiation. It is also related to modulo. So what do we mean by modulo exponentiation? Before coming to the definition, I want to explain it using an example. Okay, so let's take an example here. I have like 7 square modulo 5. Okay, so this is modulo exponentiation here. Now what we have done here is 7 square is 49. Then if we will divide by 5, we will get, this means we have to divide modulo 5, that we have to divide 49 by 5. If we will divide 49 by 5, we will obviously get 4. So the remainder is 4. The remainder is 4. So the modular exponentiation helps in finding us the remainder. Okay, so now let's go through the definition. Modular exponentiation is an exponentiation. This is an exponentiation performed over a modulus, performed using a modulus. It is very useful in public key cryptography. This will be dealing in the later part. It calculates the remainder. I told you it calculates the remainder when an integer b, the base raised to some power is divided by a positive integer modulo m. Is divided by a positive integer modulo m. So c here is the remainder, b is the base here, and n is the power, and this is divided by modulo n. Suppose I take another example here. I take like 5 raised to power 3 modulo I take 5. So this will be 0 because 5 raised to power 3 is 125, and then when it is divided by 5, we get 25, right? So the remainder is what? 25. Sorry, the remainder is 0. This is the question. We have to calculate the remainder. So modular exponentiation gives us the remainder. Now coming to the next topic, totient function. Now this is a new topic, a completely new topic, because totient function is literally taught in graduation years. Okay, so I'm very glad that CBSE has included this topic in class 11. This will make our foundation very strong. So what do we mean by totient function? This is represented by this quantity phi. Okay, the totient function, the totient function, also known as Euler function. I don't know what's wrong with the writing. Euler function is, I wrote it, but what happens is I use that dictate option in PowerPoint, so it may have pronounced it wrong. So Euler function is defined as the number of positive integers less than n that are co-prime with n. Suppose I write what is the totient function for 8, so it will be 4. Why? I have to write all the numbers. I have to tell the numbers कि वो कितने हैं एक्चुअली में जो इससे को प्राइम है. ओके, लेस देन होने चाहिए. So 1 is less than 8, 3 is less than 8, 5 is less than 8, and 7 is also less than 8. And these are 4. And these are co-prime. What do we mean by co-prime? That common factor must be 1 only. Factor only 1. Suppose I ask you what is the totient function for 15. So you will observe there are many numbers which are co-prime and less than 15, which are 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 11, 13, and 14. These all are less than 15 and also co-prime to 15, right? So how many numbers are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the answer will be 8. The totient function for 15 is 8. In totient function, we also have a formula for finding out the totient for numbers which are prime. For example, 3 is a prime number. If we have to find the totient for 3, we can use the formula n minus 1. That is, we will just subtract 1 from this. So 3 minus 1 will be 2. So the totient for 3 is 2. And we can also observe this, right? So suppose I have to find the totient for suppose 7. So this will be what? This will be 7 minus 1, and 7 minus 1 is 6. So totient for 7 is 6. So this is how we do totient function. Then coming to the next topic, working of RSA algorithm. So RSA algorithm के बारे में हमने पहले वीडियो में बात कर रखी है. In this video we will solve only the numericals. So let me take to you another place like here. So we will be talking about numericals here. Now how does RSA work? Let me explain this to you. Suppose there are two people, A and B. They want to communicate with using RSA algorithm. So if A want to communicate with B, he or she should know the place of B, right? There should be a particular address he should communicate to. So B has to provide an address to A. That address is called public key. So the very first thing to find is public key so that you can send a certain message, right? Then A uses a private key to send message to B, so that in the meanwhile process encryption and decryption happens. In this process encryption and decryption happens. So suppose we have this question, and in the exam you will see these type of questions only. Suppose I have this question, taking P is equal to 3 and Q is equal to 11, encrypt 4 to a new code, and then decrypt it to get 4. So this is one of the examples. So how we are supposed to solve this? First we have to find the public key, which is this only. Now how we are supposed to find the public key? First calculate, solution here is first calculate n. N should be P into Q. That is 3 into 11. In the beginning of this video, the first part, I told you that the very basic propaganda used for this theorem is product of two prime numbers, which is very large, right? So 33. Now suppose I have to find phi of n, that is Euler totient function of n, phi of 33. So how will we find this? We can write this as phi of 3 into 11, right? This can be broken down as phi of 3, phi of 11, because phi of m into n is phi of m into phi of n. Always remember this, okay? Now this is a prime number, so n minus 1, I just told you, into 11 is also a prime number, into 10, that will be 20. So phi of n, phi of 33, sorry, phi of 33 will be 20. Now how do we know this E thing? See, this E thing is nothing but we have to choose it. We have to choose in such a way that it is greater than 1 and less than 20, okay? and E should be co-prime to our phi n as well. Okay. After this example, I will take you to the slides. It's better to go through the example first, then to the slides, so that you will understand the definition and the steps. So phi n say co-prime होना चाहिए, 20 से co-prime होना चाहिए. Let's take E any value that is co-prime. Let's take E as 7. I'm taking E as 7. Okay. So this E along with our phi n, that is 20, is called public key. So our very first step is clear, that public key is here now, 7 comma 20. Again, I am clearing how to find the public key. First you have to find the n, that is product of two prime numbers, that is given, that is 33. Then find the Euler torsion function for phi. Phi 33 will be phi 3 into 11. So we just use the theorem phi 3 into phi 11. This will be phi of n is n minus 1 if it is prime. So we use 2 and here 10, so 20. So phi of 33 is 20. Now we have to choose a E such that it is greater than 1 and less than 20. जो value आई हमारी phi की torsion function की, and E should be co-prime to phi n. E should be co-prime to phi n. So I took E as 7. You can also take 5 or 3 or 2. Okay. So this 7 comma 20, 7 comma the phi of function E comma phi of n is always the public key. So our very first step is done. E comma phi n is clear. Now coming to the second step, that is private key. Now A has an address to send a particular message to a place, right? This address. The second step is private key. Now for private key we use this. ED congruent to 1 modulo phi of n. So ED, I will just write it here. Let me take a different color. ED congruent to 1 modulo phi of n. Okay. I know this is something new to you, but if you remember in class 9th you did Heron's formula, right? That was something new to you as well. But later on you realize that it is just a single method that you use throughout the chapter. In the similar fashion, this is a simple method of 4 steps that is used in all types of RSA algorithm. Now ED, E was 7, D is yet to be find out. This D thing here is nothing but private key, this D thing. Okay, 1 mod phi n. Phi n was 20. So congruency I have already told you, 7D minus 1. This means this minus 1 should be divisible by what? Should be divisible by is equal to 20, right? This minus this is equal to 20. This implies this only. Now 7D is equal to 20 plus 1. So this will be 7D is equal to 21. So D will be 3. So our private key is 3. So we are done with the private key as well. Let me repeat it. ED is congruent to 1 modulo phi n. This is the method used for private key. Now E is 7, D we have to find out, 1 modulo 20. Now it means A congruent to B modulo n implied A minus B is equal to, right, n, right? So we just added here, then we got D is equal to 3. Now coming to third step. The third step will be, we have our public key and private key. Now we have to encrypt and decrypt the whole purpose. 4 to a new code, then decrypt it to get 4. Now encryption के लिए हमें ये यूज करना है. C is congruent to R raised to power E modulo n. This is very easy. C raised to power C congruent to R raised to power E modulo n. Okay. So this R here is the message here. Okay, that we are trying to send in a code way. Okay. So 4 is the R. C congruent to 4 power E. E was 7. Modulo 33, n is 33, C. Now C implies for the code that we are encrypting into. We won't send 4, but we'll encrypt it to something else. Now 4 raised to power is 16384 mod 33. Now C will be, now what does this implies? That this is to be divided by this and we will get a remainder. I told you in modular exponentiation, and the remainder will be 16 if you will divide this by this. remainder will be 16. So the value for C is 16, that we have encrypted 4 to 16. Now if we have done the encryption, then we have to decrypt as well. Now suppose A has sent this 16 thing, which is actually 4. Now B has to decrypt it back to 4, right? So for the decryption part, what we will do here, we'll just see, for the decryption we use R C raised to power D modulo N. Okay, so R C raised to power D modulo N, right? Because our B guy only knows C and the private key, he doesn't know about the actual thing which we have to find. The C is 16 raised to power D. D was our 3, right? Private key modulo 33. Now R congruent to 16 raised to power 3 is 4096 modulo 33. Now if we will divide it by 33, we will get the remainder as 4. So remainder is 4. And this is actually the decryption. This is actually the message A was trying to send to the B. So 4 is the decrypted message. Always remember, the encrypted message should be similar to the decrypted message. That's the whole purpose. So this is the way we have found out the method for RSA. So remember these steps. This is the key for solving. You can take a screenshot for this. Now coming to the slides, back to our slides. Now you will understand it easily, working of RSA. Suppose A wants to send an encrypted message to B. For this, B needs to make a public key available to A. To make this public key, B has to undertake the following steps. The very first step we did. Choose two prime numbers, P and Q. And what happened here is, this is not hey. These numbers should be kept private by B, obviously. Now find N, find the totient function phi n of N, right? Now choose E where E is greater than ये हमने अभी किया और वो co-prime होने चाहिए. Then the public key is E comma N. So this is the encryption set by B, made public to everyone. Now the second step is, now A, who has to send the encrypted message to B, has the public key E comma N available to him. Suppose A want to send any message, तो उसको क्या करना पड़ेगा, एक प्राइवेट की बनानी पड़ेगी. तो उसको प्राइवेट की बना के इस तरीके से यूज करना है एनक्रिप्शन को, इस फॉर्मूले से. नाउ फॉर द डिक्रिप्शन के लिए वो ये वाला मेथड यूज करेगा, पहले प्राइवेट की के लिए और फिर डिक्रिप्ट इस वाले फॉर्मूले से कर देगा. इट इज द सेम थिंग दैट आई taught you अभी. So this is the example. This example I will be taking in a separate video, maybe later on, because this is a HOTS question, which is very interesting. Okay, so we are done with the RSA thing now. So I hope you got most of the concept I told you today. So if you got the concepts, I have a question for you. Take P is equal to 7, Q is equal to 11, and E as 13, E as 13, E as 13 to send 2 as code. Okay, encrypt करना है इसको 2 को और decrypt भी करना है, तो इसको मेरे को solve करके दिखाइएगा. So that's it for today. We will seeing you next week then. Okay, bye.